Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking to you about a toolkit that I'm developing for making open science more easier to use. And at least my angle is from the health science or health research bent. So it's pretty much targeted to that. So increasingly, open science is being talked about and demanded of research. There's a lot more discussion about it, and even the European Commission has an open science policy platform for informing them on how to do open science. Now, there are several R packages that are starting to take steps towards doing this by making projects more reproducible and open, or trying to be more open. So this package that I'm going to be talking about, is it sort of just another competing package? And that's possibly the case. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing to be having more options available, especially since open science is constantly evolving. And so more options are actually, I think, quite a good thing. But at least within the health research side of things, there are some things that are missing from the current packages, such as many of these packages are fairly complicated. They assume more complex analyses, and they often don't automate enough, which I think is something that's pretty important for somebody who's a health researcher, specifically because they're often not targeted to casual coders, which I would say most health researchers would identify themselves as, and they're not opinionated enough on the type of tools that are available. So what exactly is needed? Well, a lot more support and guidance for them because a lot of health researchers don't, like at least that I've talked to, don't necessarily know what open science is, and if they do know what it is, then they don't necessarily know how to do it. So things that, because there's so many different tools and services being created to fill these gaps, there's a lot of moving parts, and it can be overwhelming. So something that's easy should be sort of the default. So I've created, as a first step towards this toolkit, a package called prodigenr, Project Directory Generator. So what it does is it just essentially creates a standard structure for a project or a package, a project or a research project. And the main function that's there is the setup project. And so it creates a standard directory structures with, for instance, an R folder, data folder, doc, description. Now, probably many of you are fairly familiar with this. This is very similar to how our packages are created. And I think that that's actually quite a good thing because it's a well-established infrastructure. There's a lot of tools and packages that are well-developed, well-maintained to be able to handle these, to be able to work with these this infrastructure, and you have a range of project complexity that can be within these types of projects. It's simple, but it can handle a lot of complexity. So the other functions are actually adding that scientific product, so slides, abstracts, manuscripts, posters, which are sort of like the bread and butter of a lot of academics. And so they get added as an R Markdown file in the doc folder. Now, there are some other functions that I've created, which I'm sort of starting to move out of this particular package and into another one that I will talk about in a second. So such as like adding authorship to the metadata, or adding licensing to the code that is created, or things that are a little bit more specific to health research, like Strobe, which is for reporting of observational studies. So currently, because I wanted to get some feedback from this project, I participated in the Mozilla Open Project Leader Training program, as well as the Mozilla Global Sprint, which was last week. If anybody is interested in participating in those, I really highly recommend it because they are really great programs. Anyway, so I got a lot of feedback from that, and hopefully we'll submit the next version of this package soon. The next steps is I would like to create a tool, another package to take care of all the other things that are related to open science, called ROS tools, so Reproducible Open Science Tools. And mainly, I want to try to start developing more teaching material, because it's not, for health researchers, I think it's not just that you create the tool and then expect them to use it. they have to know how to do it. So how does this exactly help? Well, because open science is constantly evolving, there needs to be something that brings these tools all together, starts to automate them, and is opinionated about them, about what to use. And like I said before, researchers are busy, and if you just expect them to do something that's a lot of work, they're probably not going to do it. It's going to take a lot of pushback. So this is at least a first step in trying to get to that stage, because open science is going to be a requirement in the future, especially like open source and so on. So the main reason why I'm doing this talk is to get feedback and also to search for collaborators or contributors, because this is an R conference, so that makes sense to look for contributors here. So my GitHub information is there. Email me, talk to me later, and also the slides. That's it. Thanks.